That's it. Yeah, that's it. Celtics are eliminated from the NBA playoffs. The Heat go to the NBA Finals in a Game 7 win for the Heat. So just a rough game all around. So we'll get into the full post-game reaction. First, just want to congratulate the Heat on the series win. They played a really good game today. They played a really good series in general. They were obviously huge underdogs going into the series. And yeah, they did blow the 3-0 lead, but they were just a way better team in this one. So credit to the Heat. Jimmy Butler just won playoff MVP. That's why I'm a little late. I just wanted to see who won playoff MVP. It was Jimmy Butler. You could make an argument, they're saying on the broadcast, you could definitely make a strong argument that Caleb Martin could have won it. I mean, he was just, unbelievable from three. And not just from three-point. He was just insane in general. Really good overall series for Caleb Martin. But, yeah, let's just talk about this game. It stinks, man. Congrats to the Heat. This is their 7th NBA Finals since 2006, which is a lot. Yeah, I mean, wow. This one's tough. First quarter was rough. Celtics got out to a 9-4 run to start. They looked pretty solid. They weren't hitting their shots, but the Heat weren't hitting their shots either. And then, even though the Heat only had 22 points, they lead by 7 at the end of the first quarter was horrific. The Celtics were 0 of 8 from 3 in the first quarter. Second quarter wasn't too bad, 30-26. So the Heat have a giant lead at half. They were up by, I believe, 11. In the third quarter, 25-24, pretty good quarter from the Celtics. I think there was one point, Derek White got an and one, pushed the lead to 8, and that was really the last time I really thought the Celtics had a chance to come back, because they were only down by a little bit. They definitely had a chance there to come back. They just couldn't get that giant run. Some sloppy turnovers, offensive fouls, stuff like that would kind of kill the momentum. Going on a run, you go on a 5-0 run, you get the crowd into it, and then there's an offensive foul, and then the Heat make a 3, and that's just, the Heat had an answer for all the Celtics runs, and they were able to hold the lead pretty much the entire game. Fourth quarter, 27-18, the Heat take the lead. Going into the fourth quarter, I really thought the Celtics had a chance to come back, and then after the first couple minutes, I didn't think so. The Heat went on a quick run at the beginning of the fourth quarter, and they just looked like, they wanted it more in that fourth quarter. And you could tell in the last 5 minutes it was over. They were on their way to the NBA Finals. But, yeah, I mean, the Heat shot unbelievable from 3. Man, the Celtics, they just struggled 2 games in a row with just 20%, around 20% from 3. That is awful. It's not a winning formula. Shooting 42 for threes is a lot, and I'm fine with the threes. I'm fine with shooting 42 threes, but you gotta hit at least 15 if you're gonna shoot 42. I mean, come on. 9 threes. They didn't make it. They started 0 of 11 from 3. I don't know. It was just when are they gonna make a 3? They went a whole quarter without making one. Rebounds even. Offensive rebounds 10 to 7. Turnovers 15-12. A lot of turnovers in this game. Jaylen Brown, we'll get to him. He had a really bad game. I was wearing his jersey tonight, and he had 8 turnovers, which, I mean, that's bad. Yeah. So we talked about the first quarter, but we didn't talk first possession of the game. You get Tatum close to the paint area. Drives, gets 2 free throws on Gabe Vincent, who's the defender. But he twists his head. He lands. It didn't look like anything, because he just jumps. He's all good. He did land on Gabe Vincent's foot. It twisted his ankle a little bit, and it wasn't too bad, but it definitely was tweaked the ankle a little bit. Tatum was hobbling a little bit throughout the game. I don't want to use the excuse of an injury because I don't think it mattered. I mean, the Heat just crushed the Celtics. That's what happened. But you could definitely tell last Game 7 in Philly with Tatum dropping 51. There was a big difference this game. Some of it might have had to do with the injury. I think some of it, though, in my opinion, why is, Tatum's your best player? I mean, obviously Jaylen Brown's great too and amazing, but Tatum is your best player. Why is he only shooting 13 free field goals in a Game 7 scenario after he dropped 51 in Game 7 against Philly? I know the ankle definitely was bothering him a little bit, but I really wanted him to take some more shots. He had a double-double, but with 11 rebounds, 14 points, 4 assists. Just not a great night, though. Jaylen Brown leads all scorers with 19 points. He was 8 for 23, 1 of 9 from 3. 1 of 9. 8 rebounds, 5 assists, which those stats aren't great. Not too bad, but you get 8 turnovers in a Game 7. It's just, and some of them have got to be, some of them are fixable. One, he just lost the handle on a simple dribble. I mean, I'm not saying simple dribble for him. I mean, that dribble for me, I would bobble it and lose it out of bounds. But for an NBA player, that's just one I want him to keep. Can't turn those over. Derek White, I got to say it, was the only player that had a good game tonight. Yeah, 2 and 9 from 3 doesn't look great, but he had an and one. He was attacking. He was aggressive. He wanted to try and mount the comeback. I honestly, the way he played tonight, I thought he had more than 18. I thought he was 20. I thought he had at least 20. He was very good, very aggressive. I mean, he had the one play, went in and one. Another play went in for a floater. Another play, he went in for he got the and one, but it was actually a travel. It was a travel, but that would have huge flipped the momentum. If that was an and one, the Celtics would have been in, I think it would have been a 6-point game, maybe even a 5-point game. Not saying they would have came back, but that could have helped the momentum a lot. But a travel, it was subtle movement, but it definitely was a travel. I just got a notification there. Yeah, now you got to look to the offseason, but there's a lot to talk about. This is a Smart with 9 points. Smart was terrific. Like I said, Derek White was terrific all series. Mark Smart was terrific all series long, but this was definitely not his best game. Horford was pretty good tonight. He was amazing all playoffs with defense. I thought Horford had a couple possessions where he struggled on defense tonight, but I can't fault him. He was very good defensively all playoffs long, especially in this series against Philly, covering Embiid very well. Grant Williams, 3 points, not much. Robert Williams, Derek White, and Robert Williams. Those are the two players I think that really showed up tonight. Those were the only two players that I felt like had a good game. With Derek White talking about the and one, attacking the effort. And then Robert Williams only gets 13 minutes tonight. I'm not really sure why. That's very little minutes. He's been very pivotal this series. I think he should get more minutes. I think he should be above 20. 4 or 5 from the field, 3 offensive rebounds, 6 rebounds. 3 offensive rebounds, that's the most on the team. He keeps possessions alive. And he obviously brings an amazing presence defensively. He had a block on Jimmy Butler. He was giving Jimmy Butler problems. Jimmy Butler was great all night, but when Robert Williams was covering him, he actually had a lot of trouble. Robert Williams was great tonight. Brogdon, didn't hit a shot, but only 7 minutes. I think also he should have played more. I know, he just came back from an injury, but 7 minutes for your 7 minutes for Brogdon is not great. For your 6th man of the year, 7 minutes for your 6th man of the year. I know he's coming back from the injury. I just think he should get more minutes. It's that simple. And then Hauser, Pritchard, Cornette, Muscala, they all got in for a few minutes at the end of the game. But yeah, we go over to the Heat side. Gotta give credit, man. They were good tonight. Butler with 28. He actually took a lot of three-pointers tonight. Something Butler doesn't do. Jimmy Butler doesn't really take too many three-pointers. But took 7 tonight, made 3. 12 or 28 from the field, 28 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. Caleb Martin, man, I mean, it's like, jeez, it's like he's automatic. Like, yeah, 4 or 6 from 3, that's not 100%, but, I mean, that's unreal. He was so good this series. Like, jeez, I don't know. Adebayo with 12, 4 of 10, 10 rebounds. Adebayo was pretty good tonight. Vincent, 10 points. Vincent really didn't play too much. Strus with 8. Lowry with 7. Robinson with 10. Highsmith with 2. But yeah, I mean, got still a little bit to talk about. A few more minutes here. I'm probably going to talk for a lot of off-season plans. Man, it was just, sorry guys, I'm trying to think of the words to say here. It's a tough loss, tough defeat here. Obviously, you start down 0-1 at home, down 0-2 at home, down 0-3. You just think it's over. I mean, there's no hope. They didn't look like the team they were all regular season, those first 3 games of the series. Game 4, you knew they were going to have to come out and win. It was a must-win game to keep the season alive. Game 5 was awesome at home. And also, like I said, just pause on that thought for a second. I'll get back to that. But I don't know. The crowd was great. Like, they were really energetic. Even when the Celtics were down by, 10. They get a defensive stop, and then the crowd's like, let's go Celtics, let's go Celtics, They were, sorry, I keep repeating. They were energetic. They wanted the team to win, and you could see the defeat on the fans' faces and the crowd in the fourth quarter because the team didn't really show up the best tonight. And like I was going back to that thought, Game 6, they win by 1 on the road. You barely inch out a win. Derek White keeps the season alive with 0.1 seconds. They didn't play their best game. Surely they're going to play a great game in Game 7. No. They shot 21.4% from 3, 9 of 42 from 3. And I don't know. It could, you got to credit the Heat defense. I think they played a really good defensive game tonight. And just Tatum and Brown worked great. In general, the Celtics offense just wasn't clicking like it usually is tonight. And the Heat just got the better of them. Heat were the better team tonight. And yeah, I mean, looking ahead to next season, man, you guys want me to do some NBA Finals coverage, I can. Obviously, I'm kind of rooting for the Nuggets. I would really like to see Jimmy Butler get a Finals win, and guys like Caleb Martin, Adebayo, Vincent, that would be cool for those guys to get a ring. I'd also like to see Jokic get a ring, Jamal Murray get a ring, Michael Porter get a ring, those guys for Denver. I think it's overall, giving my quick thoughts, I think the NBA Finals will be exciting. I think it's going to be a 6 or 7 game series, probably 6 games. I'm not going to say who wins next yet. Because I'm going to post a NBA Finals prediction for you guys in the next couple days, which starts on Thursday. Man, it stinks not to be there. Last year you make it, you up 2-1. I mean, you beat the Warriors they beat the Warriors at the Chase Center, and they lose game 2. Then they take game 3, and then it was just Steph Curry rolling this over the Celtics last year. So you lose in the finals in 6, and this year tough defeat in the Eastern Conference Finals. But you gotta look to next year. I gotta have some optimism here. This team is still awesome. Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart, Al Horford, Brogdon, Robert Williams, Grant Williams. I mean, this is a great team. This is a great core. Jaylen Brown's probably going to get himself a contract, and I think Tatum will soon too. I think Jaylen Brown deserves a contract. Listen, I don't really look too much into like the contract stuff. I'm not very intelligent in that area of the NBA. You know what I mean by that. Like I know what restricted free agent stuff like that, free agent means, but I think Jaylen Brown deserves a contract. He was really good all playoffs. The wheels just kind of fell off these last couple games. Obviously, 8 turnovers tonight is kind of unacceptable in a game 7. But Jaylen Brown, it's one of my favorite players. Him and Tatum are definitely my favorite players. I have a Jaylen Brown jersey. I'm thinking about getting a Tatum jersey this summer. It's a tough defeat, but I think I'm going to still get a Tatum jersey. That way I have 2 for next year. And we got to look to next year for optimism. This team's still going to be one of the top forces in the East, one of the best teams in the East. And they're still going to be great. And I plan on getting, this year, I watched all the games on TV, and I checked the scores on my iPad for the games that weren't nationally televised. Next year, I'm going to spend my money. I'm going to pay for NBA TV. I'm not sure exactly how that works. I want to watch every single Celtics game. I watched every game that was on national television this year, but next year I want to watch every single game. Some games that weren't on TV, national TV, I can't watch because I don't have NBA TV. It's expensive, but I do want to get it. I just think that'll be awesome to maybe give you guys some more game previews every day and stuff. But yeah, season comes to an end, man. Listen, got to give them credit, Celtics too. Obviously, congrats, Miami Heat fans. You guys are going to the finals. Enjoy it. Hopefully, you come up clutch with the dub in the finals. Down 3-0. I didn't think we'd have a game 5. And here we do have a game 7. Obviously, it stinks that they won 3 in a row and had a bad performance here in game 7. But, they made it a series. They put the pressure on the Heat, and the Heat answered back with a good answer here to win the Eastern Conference Finals. Jimmy Butler is the Eastern Conference MVP. And Caleb Martin, man, I want to see how he does in the finals because he was unreal this series. I think he's going to continue it in the finals. But yeah, final thoughts here. It's a rough loss for the Celtics, but, they'll be back in the playoffs next year, so it's all right. I will have a NBA Finals prediction coming up later this week, and I will do some videos, obviously, this offseason about the Celtics offseason plans, stuff like that. But that is going to do it for the video. Congrats, Miami Heat. You're going to the finals. Obviously, final thoughts here on the Celtics. It's a bad loss, obviously. 103 to 84 is your score. And hopefully we can rebound next year. But, we got to the Eastern Conference Finals again. And this year the Heat got it done. Last year we got it done. This year the Heat take it home. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great